Oh, hey, how's it going, everyone? We figured we might as well give you an update on the trailer. We got some miles on it now. If you've seen the build video, this is a truck bed trailer, an old 70s Chevy, 8-foot bed, but it was a step side. Somebody has removed the step side standard fender flares and put utility box sides on it. I'm not sure what brand or anything like that, but it looks like it was a bolt-on kit. And so this trailer had wood floor. I'm assuming the truck had wood floor bed when new. So we've been using it and done some modifications since the build videos. I figured we might as well go over a little bit of it and show you some of the modifications and kind of give you the pros and cons. So I don't know how to make you stop following me.
Stop looking at me, Swan!
It's on AI tracking
It's not working.
because you're not doing it correctly.
One of the most notable things that we've done is we took the cargo glide system, the decked cargo glide system that we had originally bought for the Gladiator to go on the decked drawers. We decided, being that the truck bedsides are so wide, it's hard to actually access stuff in here, especially in the middle. So why not put it in here? Now, as you can tell, it doesn't fit perfect. We got a lot of space on the sides. It's dead space now, but it's pretty handy because I can slide stuff out. You can see the 2 rings from propane tanks we've had in here. Strap the propane tanks down, you know, gas cans, whatever. All goes on here pretty easy, and I can slide it out to access it. Whereas before, standing on the side, I'm at my feet flat on the ground, full stretch. That's all the further I can get, right? And then, as you can tell, the trailer stays super clean. So when you're having to lean over, you're getting all nasty. So we decided to bolt that in.
And it's been
It's
huge
really helped.
game changer, even though it's not for this application.
Yeah. I actually measured. The Power Wagon one would fit tighter to the sides. It would still have enough room to operate, and it's longer, but we use it in the Power Wagon. If I ever change the setup, that cargo glide will probably go in here in place of this one just because it's bigger and it'll hold more stuff. And I already have the sick L-track on there, which you can check that out in another video. I have not done it to this one yet, but I feel like it's a must. So we've got that in. Another thing we did too, but I built a square bracket to hold the generator with some legs. It's on the tongue, which
Not ideal.
isn't the most ideal just because of the weight, but it still doesn't put a lot of tongue weight on. I don't actually know the numbers. I mean, I could still basically pick it up without like killing myself. So I know it's not too much tongue weight. We're able to haul the generator, which we don't always need.
And
this
in
last
the-
trip in the Ozarks
It actually helps.
saved the whole trip.
But in the event we're not taking the generator, if we put some is it corrugated steel? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, or even some flat steel, just anything in there.
To make a bottom, because there's no bottom to it, and you could put water, you could put gas cans, or we've actually put totes on there and stacked 2 of them and strapped them in.
Yep, these fit in that perfect right now. That's been a real nice modification. So the hitch has been real good. I do need to grease it. Haven't had any problems actually with the trailer other than so I smashed the wiring harness at Maris.
We are up at the top of Maris. We got the Gladiator. Jared didn't unhook the wire harness, so gotta fix that.
So I had to fix that out on the fly, but we have since repaired that, got that all good. Yeah, I bent a little bit of conduit just to keep the wiring up, and you know, so people step here. I mean, I step here all the time too, so I'm not stepping on the wire. So that's been real good. I did have a taillight just recently go out, and I found a problem I feel like what most people are probably doing. I put LEDs on this, LED trailer lights, because they're brighter, and why not, right?
And we had them sitting around, didn't we?
Yeah. No, those are Amazon specials, baby. They're cheap, cheap. Problem with LED, when a light bulb goes out, you don't go and get one at a truck stop or a parts store. You don't go get an 1157. Now you got to replace the whole damn housing. I'll just tell you what my idea was, and you can look on her Jeeps right here.
Still dead.
It's dead. It's okay. Her factory taillight would go on here, and it comes around the corner more. It's more bulky. I'm thinking about trying to take factory JK taillights, means we have the factory ones in fine condition, and put them on there. But I'd have to do kind of this curve because it's not flat here, the way it mounts. It has to index in.
Because we have a Jeep to use cardboard and kind of model it after anyway. A little bit more fabrication. So if you are able and capable to do fabrication, this is something you can do as well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a JK taillight either.
Yep. One thing that we could also note too, so we've been running, 33s?
Yeah, Mickey Thompson Baja ATs.
They had 10 ply on the trailer. Since it's been on the road, we've never had any other tire on there since it's been on the road. And this is actually a trailer axle, a 7,000 pound trailer axle that we had to modify where the leaf spring's mounted. We actually had the guy that we got the trailer from do that. I traded him the Corporate 14 because he builds pulling trucks. And so I traded him that for this. It's been real slick, actually. It's been working real good. I do not have brakes though, because this axle came equipped for hydraulic brakes, and I can't really do any kind of a surge box or hitch up front because we have that swivel hitch. So I need to find a backing plate that would go on here that has electric brakes. Haven't got to it yet. Actually, we haven't really had a problem. All the vehicles stopped this trailer pretty good. But it is wearing the tires a little unevenly. It's getting a little bit of choppiness on the outside. I'll just rotate them. It's not enough to be concerned for the amount of miles that's been put on the trailer to the wear. Not a big deal. I'll just rotate it. We'll be good. Another big gripe that I have that I can't figure out, and it's bugging me a lot, is I can't figure out a way to seal the side boxes. I've tried your regular old weather stripping that pushes on with the bulb sticking out. I've tried like camper tape kind of stuff where I tape it along here, but the gap is so tight here and so loose on this end, I can't get anything that'll actually expand enough out here and stay skinny enough to actually let this shut. I can't seal these at all. So if we're driving in the rain, if it's in the boxes, it's wet. And not just a little wet. I don't know if the rain like blows up in, like it's wet. So I can't figure that out, and that's actually put me in a weird place because let's be honest, it seems like every trip we take, we end up in rain somewhere. So I can't even run it through a car wash. I mean, you see how nasty it is. And I can't take it to a car wash because I have to empty all the bins. Otherwise, everything is soaked. So I don't know a solution for that. I need to try to figure out one. Otherwise, what I'm gonna do is take these side boxes completely off this trailer
and make fenders.
Or try to find somebody that has an old step side that wants utility boxes
and trade them.
And switch them out. Obviously, these are sturdy, and I feel like they make the trailer what it is. I mean, if you get rid of the utility boxes, this just looks like
a trailer.
Yeah, like maybe a military, like one of the military trailers, which are cool. Then I have a narrow truck bed, because it is narrow. I have a narrower truck bed, and I don't have any way of using any of the other space. So.
And the other thing too is these are kind of, so this one's pretty good at keeping all of its stuff in there. This is like the lighting compartment. That's the Devos. There's lights that we bought off of Amazon in there that go around on the inside of the awning, ones that go in the tent. That box is
the leveling blocks, the level, our power adapters.
So those two, for the most part, have stayed the same. This one just recently became
like the garage.
Yeah, fluids, stuff.
After one of our recent trips, we decided to carry more antifreeze.
Yep. This one is
whatever.
Kind of whatever.
Yep.
This one is supposed to be the kitchen one, which it mostly is, but most of our kitchen stuff is in a decked box or in the Step 22 bag, so this is kind of like the catch-all.
Yeah, which it's the catch-all for everything wet, because that one gets really wet.
This one used to be the Milwaukee, but
like all the batteries and stuff,
again, when stuff gets wet, it either doesn't work or it gets ruined altogether. So it's kind of become, again, like a catch-all.
So we're not utilizing these boxes very well. And until I can seal them up, I don't really feel like I can utilize them.
Most stuff ends up in the Husky Totes.
Yeah, which is, we have a hard time getting them, which is frustrating. We stopped at Home Depot before this trip that we just got back from. We were going to go buy some more, but they didn't have any.
They were so the website showed that they had like 27, and we actually know a guy who
Yeah.
works at Home Depot, and we're like, hey, do you know where these are at? And he's like, yeah, we've been trying to find those for like a month.
Yeah. So that's a struggle we've been having. Now, storage is a big problem.
For everybody, not just us.
Yeah. And it would be different if we would use this on every trip. We do not. This does not work for a lot of our trips, actually.
Colorado, shelf roads.
Yeah. It's great for base camp, and that's all we use it for. We tried like dispersed camp in different spots and stuff. We like tough trails, and so this does not. We had this thing pinned hard. It was a disaster, but it came out okay.
I don't think so. Nope.
It's got a little bit of battle scars, but it came out fine, considering. So we're trying to come up with a solution. Now, the Husky Totes work really good. They really
However,
do. They do not, they index, but they do not lock together.
and they don't fit very well in the Wrangler when
At
you
all.
need like 5 of them.
They index, right?
And it's okay.
It's
okay.
good. But the problem is they don't lock together, which would be really convenient. I can run a strap over it. These deform a lot when you run a strap over it. They don't seem to let water in, at least, even when they're kind of deformed. But they don't really fit too well in the trailer either, which is kind of ironic. The width of them doesn't, you leave a lot of dead space.
Yes.
And then you have to strap everything down. So you got 33 straps in the bed of this 8-foot truck bed to hold stuff down. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. I've been really contemplating on trying to make the switch over to Milwaukee Packouts with like the mounting plates so that they'll kind of lock in. I just don't know how high people have gone with like the Packouts just by clipping them in and not having anything fall over. So if any of you guys are running Packouts with like the mounting plate and standing it up,
Whether it's the plastic one from Milwaukee or even the aluminum ones that American Adventure Lab makes.
yeah, and there's a lot of other ones out there too. But how high have you stacked, and like approximately how much weight do you think you have in that stack? Obviously, I would keep the heavier stuff lower, you know, like a toolbox worth of tools and stuff. But like how high, like feet-wise, because I know they got all kinds of different boxes, how high have you ran it and been able to go off-road and like, because you're hitting bumps, you're at a 20-degree angle and you hit a bump and you're going to jar it to 24. That's got to be hard on them. You know, has it worked good? Obviously, I have a lot of stuff, and so if I jump over to Packouts, I'm going to spend a ton of money just for all the boxes. And I don't want to do it and then find out that when I get to 18 degrees or 20 degrees and hit a bump, that I'm going to snap 3 of the boxes off. My goal would be to basically line the entire truck bed or where I need them with mounts. So I just clip it in. So let me know. I know a lot of people have Packouts, but I never actually get to talk to anybody that has like a big stack or anything and how well it's holding up to off-road abuse. That might be a change that I need to make. Another thing too that I'd like to ask everybody, I know we're not the only ones that carry a 20-pound propane tank. Do you know anybody that makes a mount for a 20-pound propane tank? Because I hate just having it sitting there. You can't leave it just sitting. You got to strap it down. They don't really strap good because they're round. And the tops, you know, kind of awkward. Seemed like we usually take 2 at this point in time because our fire pit's a hungry beast as far as propane. If it's cold out, we like to keep that sucker cooking. I don't have a smaller one yet. I know I talked about having to get a smaller one. Still haven't done it. Mounting a 20-pound propane tank. I would like to come up with a solution to have some place in the trailer where I take the propane tank and I go. I have no problem throwing a ratchet strap on, but like right now, if I had a ratchet strap, this thing would still be trying to dance around some, you know? And then you got the ratchet strap running over the edges. If I had like an alternative source kind of pinning it in place and then just using a strap to hold it down, I wouldn't have to get crazy with the strap and it'd be great. Looking for solutions on that. I thought about making a mount system to put the propane tanks up here, but then if I have to run the generator, I would feel like I'd have to most definitely take the propane tank off, probably both. I don't want combustibles right next to a running engine. Seems like a horrible idea. So maybe I'm overthinking it, but I don't want to do it. So then therefore, and I still have to come up with like some kind of a plate system. I haven't found anybody that makes a 20-pound like mount. You know, they got a lot of them for like the 5-pounders and the 11-pounders.
Other thing is enclosing it.
Yes.
We would like to enclose it so it's less in the public eye when we have stuff in there, and also just make it weatherproof.
Yeah, you see the Jocola tent set up behind the trailer. We had that dried out and everything. But the day that we had to come home, we had to drive through a damn crazy storm. And no matter where I put that, we were in the Gladiator. So no matter where I put that bag, it got completely soaked. It soaked our tent insulation bag too.
Which was easy. iCamper's tent insulation you can stick in the dryer on like a fast dry cycle and it'll dry it out. Can't do that with that.
I want it to be water resistant. I know I'm probably not gonna be able to make it waterproof unless I really get technical. Water resistant would help a lot, and out of the public eye always is a bonus. So I thought about using canvas tarp. We had bought one. We had the generator wrapped in it. Seems to work pretty good.
But when it's wet, then the canvas tarp is going to be wet.
Yeah. And that's also where we kind of don't really have a disagreement, but I think I would rather do Velcro on the bottom and like somehow attach it better up top. I don't know. She's kind of more along the lines of the snap buttons. Other than that, I mean, the trailer's an ever-evolving process. Obviously, we're in it a lot cheaper than like buying a nice fancy turtleback or something like that.
Or even a Teton X.
That's our dream, I think, is a Teton X. So Atlas, help us out. Yeah, I think ultimately it'd be nice to be able to sleep in because once again, like I was saying, we always end up breaking down camp when it's wet. It's not ideal. Which we are fortunate enough to have built a big enough garage where I can do it in the garage. So even if it's raining at home, I still can do it.
Big enough garage that holds a bunch of garbage.
There is never a garage big enough.
That's pretty much where we're at. This is not going anywhere. We use it.
A lot.
And we like it. There are some drawbacks.
I guess I
that
can
need
ask
addressed.
another question then to some people because I'll fabricate a lot, but as far as like technical like specifications, like if I was to sheet this, would I need to could I get away with like a thin gauge aluminum, like a 18 or a 20 gauge without having to add supports? Because the front, I don't really need access. So I could just plate this off. And obviously the roof, I would end up having to pull this off, or my unistruts, pull those off, plate it, re-drill for the unistruts. Not a big deal. The top and sides I can get away with. I can't weld aluminum. I also don't know if you can bend like flat aluminum very easy.
Without a break?
Like bending like a 90-degree lip and dropping it down like 1.5 inches or something, and then sealing it with some kind of a silicone or a caulking of some nature, you know. So I'm sure somebody out there knows. I also do not have a brake for anything that big. I do have a finger brake, but it's only like 20 inches wide. I don't know if anybody has any input on that. I could do it with steel, but I'm afraid it's just going to keep adding more weight and more weight and more weight. If you followed along with me building this rack, it's kind of a mutt rack. It's got a couple JCR parts, and then it's got some crazy heavy C-channel, way overkill, but it's something I had. And then this is 2x2 square tubing, 250 walls. So it's quarter wall, 2x2 tubing running down the length. Stupid heavy. So I'm already like way heavy on this rack.
If it rolls, the iCamper's gone. Everything about the truck is going to be gone, but the rack's still going to be in one piece.
So I really want to try to keep weight down. That's why I was really thinking about canvas and stuff. If anybody knows, maybe even a site I can check out that gives me information on like aluminum plate and like how far of a run can I have without having extra supports. I could add extra supports, you know, but like the sides, I'm probably going to have to do like a piano hinge so that I can access the sides, unless I go out and buy a different cargo glide that's 100% extension designed for an 8-foot bed. That would be an option as well, as long as it fits widthwise. That's where I run into struggles. Let us know if you have any input on how to seal the boxes, enclosing the system, any input on the Milwaukee Packouts. I guess I can't think of much else. Can you?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Check out the DRT merch at the link in the description below. If you like this and would like to support us in a tangible way so we can get out and use this more, check us out on Patreon. You'll have access to campsites, waypoints, routes that we're building. Patreon is not your thing. Check out YouTube membership, same thing, same prices. And if Levi was here, we will see you on down on the trail.
Yeah, he'd do his shuffle. Not as cool.